Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Story Time. Earlier today, we were talking about following directions, right? And the importance of being able to follow multiple directions. So maybe like 2 or 3 steps at a time. And we practiced doing that a little bit. Well, today we are going to be reading a book about 2 characters named Pinch and Dash. And they are going to make soup. And make is our word, our sight word of the week, right? They are going to make soup. And that's the title, Pinch and Dash Make Soup. Now, in this book, Pinch and Dash Make Soup, they don't actually follow a recipe. They kind of make it up as they go along, but we'll see what happens because they didn't really follow a recipe, okay? And I wanted to tell you something about their names, Pinch and Dash. But when you follow a recipe, it will tell you exactly how much of each ingredient you need to put into the recipe. If you put all the ingredients in, but just any old amount, it probably won't taste very good. You have to make sure that you put the exact right amount into your recipe. So I brought along with me some spoons. Have you seen anything like this? You may have them. I'm sure you have them in your house. They might be a different color. They might be a different shape. The important thing is that the size of the spoon portion of it is the same. These are called measuring spoons. Now, I wouldn't use this to eat soup. I wouldn't use this to eat cereal. I would use these to measure ingredients to put into a recipe that I was making, okay? So here we have a tablespoon, a half a tablespoon. So this one is half, it holds half the amount that this spoon does. And then we have a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon, and a quarter of a teaspoon. And then there's usually another one that's an eighth of a teaspoon, which is even smaller than this. See, this doesn't hold very much, but there's one that holds even less. Now, the words pinch and dash are not only their names, but they represent something that has to do with cooking. So if a recipe said put a pinch of salt, you know what that means? It means a super tiny amount, so small that you wouldn't even measure it with a measuring spoon. It literally means the amount that maybe if you had a salt container here, you would put your fingers in and pinch, and whatever comes out, you put that right into your recipe. It's just a pinch of salt. It's that tiny, okay? And a dash is the same thing, but it's usually with liquid. Okay, so it would maybe just be a couple drops, but nothing that you would even measure with the smallest measuring spoon because it's smaller than that. So a dash is a liquid in a super tiny amount, just a couple drops, okay? So enjoy the story, and I'll meet you back here when we're done. Pinch and Dash Make Soup by Michael J. Daly, illustrated by Thomas F. Yezerski. Pinch and Dash make soup. Hungry. Pinch was hungry. He looked in his soup pot. The pot was empty. Pinch looked in his refrigerator. He saw a potato, some spinach, and a bit of cheese. Pinch was too lazy to make his own soup. The Chat and Chew served soup, Pinch remembered. He was too lazy to walk that far. I wonder what Dash is cooking, he asked himself. Dash was always cooking something. His kitchen would be warm. His kitchen would be full of good smells. Pinch put a pepper shaker in his right pocket. He put a bottle of hot sauce in his left pocket. Dash is a great cook, Pinch said, but he never uses enough pepper. He never uses enough hot sauce. Skinny soup! Pinch, come in, Dash said. Pinch came in. The kitchen was warm. The kitchen was full of good smells. The good smells came from the pot on the stove. Pinch asked, "What is in that pot?" "Skinny soup," Dash said. What is skinny soup?" Pinch asked. "It is soup with not much in it," Dash said. "Will you join me for lunch?" Pinch looked into the pot. He saw bits of herbs floating in a lot of water. "This soup smells good," Pinch said, "but it is too skinny for two. Can you fatten it up?" Sure, said Dash. Dash opened his refrigerator. There was an acorn inside. Dash plopped the acorn in the soup. There, he said. Pinch blinked. He looked into the pot. He said, Chat and Chew puts a potato in their soup. That is their soup, Dash said. This is my soup. Pinch asked, Would a little potato ruin your soup? Maybe not, Dash said, but I do not have a potato. Oh, I do, Pinch said. Pinch wished he had put the potato in his pocket with the pepper and the hot sauce. Now he had to walk all the way home to get it. Whose soup? Chop, chop, chop. Dash chopped the potato. He stirred it into the soup. Dash tasted the soup. Slurp. Pinch tasted it. Better, Pinch said. But I like green soup. You cannot have green soup, Dash said. There is no spinach. I have some, Pinch said. It is too bad I did not bring it with the potato. He walked all the way home and got the spinach. Mince, mince, mince. Dash minced the spinach. He stirred it into the soup. He tasted the soup. Slurp. Pinch tasted it. Something is missing, Pinch said. Dash asked, What? What is missing? Cheese, Pinch said. Cheese, Dash said. I do not have cheese. I do, Pinch said. He sighed. The soup is getting fat, but all this dashing back and forth is making me skinny. He went home to get the cheese. Dice, dice, dice. Dash diced the cheese. He stirred it into the soup. He tasted it. Slurp. This soup is not skinny anymore, Dash said. It is thick. It is green. It is cheesy. It is fat soup now, and it is perfect. Taste. Pinch slurped. He smacked his lips. This soup is fat, Pinch said, but it is not perfect. It needs a pinch of pepper and a dash or two of hot sauce. No, 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 Dash cried. Not in my soup. Your soup? Pinch said. All the food in this soup is mine. It is our soup. I am the cook, Dash said. This is my pot. This is my stove. I say no pepper. I say no hot sauce. Dash smacked the spoon down. Now, should I set the table with one bowl or two? He asked. Pinch thought of his empty soup pot. He thought of his empty refrigerator. He felt his empty tummy. Pinch said, Two, please. Alone with the soup. Dash went into the dining room. Pinch was alone in the kitchen. He was alone with the simmering soup. Pinch listened. Pinch peeked. Dash was busy setting the table. Pinch reached into his right pocket. He sprinkled a pinch of pepper into the soup. Pinch reached into his left pocket. He squirted 2 dashes of hot sauce into the soup. Pinch stirred the soup. He lifted a spoonful to his mouth. The door started to open. Pinch hid the spoon without tasting the soup. Dash came in with 2 bowls. Please, go sit down, Dash said. Pinch went into the dining room. Dash was alone in the kitchen. He was alone with the simmering soup. I should not have yelled at Pinch, Dash said. I will surprise him. In went a pinch of pepper, in went a dash of hot sauce. No, 2 dashes. Dash stirred the soup. He tasted it. His eyes went wide. His mouth pinched tight. Eow! Dash cried. Pinch rushed into the kitchen. What is the matter? He asked. Dash flapped his arms. He pointed at his mouth. You burned your tongue? Pinch asked. Dash shook his head. He clutched his throat. You swallowed the acorn? Pinch asked. Dash shook his head. He pointed at the soup. Ruined! Dash croaked. Too much pepper! Too much hot sauce! Oh, it's my fault, Pinch cried. I ruined the soup. You ruined the soup? Dash asked. Yes, I put in some pepper, Pinch said. I put in some hot sauce. Oh, Pinch, Dash cried. I put in some too. Pinch asked, for me? For you, Dash said. Pinch hugged Dash. Dash, you were a great friend, Pinch said. But what about our soup? We cannot take out the pepper. We cannot take out the hot sauce. I think, Dash said, that today is a good day to eat lunch at the Chat and Chew. Don't you? Today's soup, cheesy spinach potato. The end. Okay, everybody, did you enjoy Pinch and Dash make soup? I thought it was pretty funny. So did they follow a recipe? Did they follow instructions? No, they didn't. They had different ideas about what the soup should be, right? So Pinch was pretty lazy, wasn't he? He didn't want to make his own soup. He didn't even want to walk to the restaurant to eat soup. He figured, I'll just go to Dash's house. Dash is always cooking up something good. But Dash didn't really have many ingredients. So Pinch, even as lazy as he was, he had to keep on running back and forth to get different ingredients from his house. And they just kept on adding and adding and adding to the soup until they used all the ingredients in Pinch's refrigerator. And at the very end, what happened? Did you understand what happened there? So when Dash went to set the table, Pinch, who wanted the hot sauce and the pepper in his food, he was sneaky. He was sneaky. He said, oof, you know what? I brought it. They're right in my pocket. I'm just going to put a dash of hot sauce and a pinch of pepper, and that's it. And then he said, 2 dashes. And he put 2 dashes of hot sauce and a pinch of pepper, right? And it probably would have been okay. But then Dash came in. And Dash felt so bad for yelling at his friend earlier that he said, you know, I know he really wants pepper and I know he really wants hot sauce in there. So he thought, being the good friend that he is, he would add the pepper and the hot sauce and surprise Pinch. And did he? Wow. Well, he tasted the soup, but what happened? Since they both added a pinch of pepper and 2 dashes of hot sauce, that means that they had double the amount that they should have. And it was super spicy, so they couldn't even eat the soup after all. So they ended up going to the restaurant and having soup together at the restaurant. But you know what? What I really liked about it was that they were still friends, right? They had different opinions, but they still found a way to get along. And in the end, Dash felt really bad about yelling at him, which I thought was very nice of a friend to say, you know, that wasn't right. Let me do something to make it up for you, up to you. But the only thing was, it went all wrong, right? But they didn't let it ruin their day. They still went and ate soup together. So I hope you enjoyed the story about Pinch and Dash and them making soup. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.